To Lawsymptoms, my name is Gupta. I am a fourth year law student currently studying in Sushant University and interning at Lawsymptoms. Today, I am going to speak on the topic significance and importance of new labor codes in India. 4 labor codes, including 29 central labor regulations, aim to streamline, consolidate, and simplify these complex labor laws. Why do we have labor laws? We have labor laws for our employees and for our employers and for all the laborers working currently in industry. Actually, industry and companies are connected because the group of company form industries and the people working in industries are laborers, employers, employees, etc. So we need labor laws for them. We need labor laws for their protection. That's why we need labor laws. Streaming it's underway. We have labor laws to protect the employer, employees, and all the laborers working in these industries. For companies, we have Companies Act, and for laborers, we have these special labor laws. Why labor laws? Because we need to protect our laborers. We need to give them the proper timing, wages, etc. Because we have seen that laborers are not getting enough for their work. They are doing overtimes, they are doing many other works, but they are not getting paid properly. We have a rule to expand the social security. We also aimed on it to include unorganized sector and to give them the proper security for everything, because laborers at lower levels, they don't have a proper security regarding their work. Daily wage worker don't have a pension schemes. Although employers have, government employees have, but not the laborers. Are expected to result in 4 labor laws covering wages, social security, occupational safety, health and working conditions, and industrial relations. These new labor laws were drawn up based on the International Labour Organization (ILO) standards and consultation process with various other stakeholders. Actually, the Parliament recently passed the 4 labor codes, which got amended, and then the new reforms came into force. So, truly a revolutionary step in the journey of labor laws in India and perhaps for the Indian incorporations. These 4 new pieces of legislation are expected to come into effect on the July 2022. Reforms will affect the impact on working conditions, wages, pensions, and more, including employment scenarios in India. Because these rules consider revolutionary steps to help better manage work and find a better work life for balance in organized and unorganized sectors. However, the new labor laws are likely to affect on our working lives in terms of working hours and holidays. The labor codes approved by the president are the Wages Code 2019, the Labor Relation Codes 2020, and the Social Security Code 2020, and also the Code of Safety, Health and Working Conditions 2020. While the president has received all 4 codes, the central government has yet to announce the effective date of their operation. Basically, the new labor codes allow offices and companies to limit working hours to 7 to 8 hours a day. Normal working hours can be a 12-hour per day. If an organization chooses to do so, the work day should be limited to 4 days per week within 3 mandatory holidays. In total, the number of hours worked during the week remained unchanged. Impact on employees of these labor codes. For a year, the industry has been speculating about the possible date of the labor code's entry into force. The government of India has also tried to maintain on the subject, which include the Ministry of Labour and Employment has updated its website with a document on the benefits of the new labor codes, the new labor codes for New India. The government has worked to encourage more states to publish draft rules under the code. As previously reported in April 2022, 29 countries, union territories released draft rules under the wages code, and etc. regarding the wages and labor codes in India. Some previous wages codes 2019 were amended and new reforms came into force. However, the broader provisions of these codes are pending with the announcement date. The Labour Code aims to standardize the definition of different terms in 4 codes. So, and it is important that for the definition, the term wage, because we don't have a proper definition of wage. So the wages definition was get amended in the Labour Code. So the code also requires reorganizing payrolls, compensations, and other policy processes, establishing different security and compliance process and specific committees and more. Also, the organization needs a reasonable lead time to implement these changes and therefore expect a transition period within a 3-year span or a 3 months at least after an effective date and announced to implement the provisions. Are the impact of these codes on employees? With the expansion of the definition of wages in this code under the new laws, workers' pension benefits are expected to increase with the implementation of these laws. The Labour Codes was read together with the draft internal regulations, and that include many provisions beneficial to the health workers, such as expanding the coverage of the social insurance, etc. for the unorganized sector, because the organized sector have a settled pension schemes. They are getting pensions, they are like getting health benefits, but not the unorganized sector, because we have a lot of provisions for the people who are below poverty line, but we still don't have a proper schemes for the unorganized sector. New reforms to be highlighted here. An employer-centered approach within the framework of the Labour Code, one-time registration and license, the legitimacy of hiring contract workers in the core business in some cases, raise the threshold of applicability to certain laws for factories and contracted laborers, raise workers' thresholds for the ability to enforce the standing orders and government approvals for layoffs of workers. Because why do we need these reforms in these labor laws? Because we need our unorganized sector to get some security regarding their health, regarding their wages, and etc. I would like to conclude my topic. So the transformative changes of the Labour Code expected to create a major inputs for labor reforms and impact many organizations across all sectors. The government's goal is for the new labor laws to reduce the complexity, make compliance easier, provide greater transparency and accountability, and benefit both employers and employees. The new rules are expected to significantly improve compliance, especially given the increased criminal liability. So I would like to thank you all for listening me. Please do like, share, subscribe the channel of Lawsymptoms. Thank you.